See, there is a world of difference between knowing what to do and actually doing it. It applies to all spheres of life and more importantly to stock markets. वजन घटाना है, सबको पता है क्या करना है, वॉक करना है, फ्राइड नहीं खाना है, नीलेश को भी पता है, पर वो घटता कितना है, that is most important. So everyone in the world knows that this is what needs to be done and this is how it needs to be done, and if you do it you will get the results. So जैसे भाई साहब ने बोला, don't do these 5 things. If you don't do that, obviously you will make money in the stock market. But when it actually comes to implementing, you pledge your knowledge somewhere, you borrow someone's knowledge at that point of time because you want to get rich, you want to make quick money. So even though you know the principles, what not to do, but you will exactly do what is not to be done in the stock market. So everyone knows that there is hardly few people who have examples that you can make money in trading by being part-time in it. I'm not commenting on people who do it full-time, but as far as I am concerned, I have seen so many people who come, सुबह आ गया, अच्छा है, बम्बई से टिप आई है यार, आज ये लेने का है, 5 मिनट फोन लगाया और शेयर ले लिया, फिर क्या हुआ, वो टिप चली नहीं, 2-5% शेयर का भाव घट गया, बम्बई वाले को फोन किया, बोले भैया क्या प्रॉब्लम है, तूने सुबह बोला था 5% घट गया, बम्बई वाले ने बोला नहीं कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, ये चलने वाला ही है पक्का, अपना खबर एकदम पक्का है. Then next day comes, some global event happens, another 5% is gone. Then once it gone 20%, you will keep putting the money in the trade, you will keep putting the difference. When it goes to 30%, then you become long-term investor. So you bought something for trading and then actually you became long-term investors. So you had no idea, you had no clue about that company. Someone gave you a tip and you went ahead, implemented that tip and then kept averaging. Now all these things are written in a book that don't do this. We always end up overestimating what we can achieve in the short term. And we always underestimate what the possibilities in the long run are. If you are an investor and if you had like a 15-year time frame for being an investor in the markets, this is the kind of return which you would have generated. So let's say Bajaj Finance is up 471 times. 471 times in this time frame. UPL is up 267 times. Titan is up 244 times. Shree Cement is up 222 times. And the list goes on. And when these companies were investable, and some of them were investable 10 years back, 12 years back, 8 years back, 7 years back, market gave many opportunities to invest into these companies. It is not that it has become from point to point, it has given so much return. It has given many opportunities in between. But the starting point for most of these companies were that they were less than 1,000 crore rupees of market cap. This is the second list. Now these are the list of companies which started with a mere 50 crore market cap. Again, the time frame is 15 years. Now look at this list. There are companies which have gone even more than 2,000 times in 15 years. And some of them, as you can see from the list, there are many of them. So that is why, and I have personally seen this list, so this does not have a bias of a particular industry or a particular group, or it is actually, none of these companies actually belong to any major industrial group. Basically, it doesn't belong to Tata, Ambani, Birla, or, some of the major groups. When we look at this wealth creation and study what made these companies return what they return, the point is that, we don't end up appreciating what the possibilities in the long run are. While we are always focusing क्या लेना है, कब लेना है, बाजार घटेगा तो लेना है क्या, ये कब लेना है और घटेगा क्यों लेना है, दैट इज नॉट द मैटर. द मैटर इज ओनली वन, कि कितना लेना है और कितने समय के लिए लेना है. So these days, a lot of people are, I know a lot of people are nervous in the last 1 month. What has happened in the market, including myself. Every portfolio is smashed out of shape, and a lot of people are looking that is it the end of the world, or is it very different this time than what has happened in the past. This is my conviction, and this is why I remain in the markets. So it has taken us whatever, maybe 5,000 years to come to $2.4 trillion of GDP per annum, right? And in the next 10 years, in my view, this number will be close to $6 trillion. And in the next 20 years, this number will be more than $11-12 trillion. So in other words, in a layman language, what has taken more than 5,000 years to come here in the history of India, much more excitement than that is going to happen over the next 20 years. So we are going to go from $2 trillion to $12 trillion in the next 20 years. Now again, as I say, we live in an age of internet era. You all can go and see countries which moved from $2 trillion to $10 trillion and what happened to many industries, to many sectors, to many entrepreneurs, to many investors, and what kind of opportunity was there. Now, if you are a pessimist, you may believe that it will not happen in 20 years, it may happen in 25 years or 27 years. If you are an optimist, you may believe that it may happen in 18 years or 17 years. But I think there is no challenge to the direction of India's story and the growth in India. These are again supporting documents to say why this will happen. Enough time is being spent, so I will not spend. Now, this is where India is versus some of these countries which went through the $2 trillion to $10 trillion time. So, if you can see where India is, whether it is clothes or footwear, where the unit, I don't want to complicate it, just say that unit is 60, that was equivalent to where China was in 2004, and we are in 2018. And China today is at 239, Korea is at 662, and USA is at 924. And these are the various industries where India is lacking, and this is where China was in equivalent year where India today is. So as you can see, the gap is very large. In some cases, we are still in China as compared to 1990. So we are roughly 15-20 years behind most of these developing countries which went through the GDP creation of $2 trillion to $4, $6, and $8 trillion. I think, there is a lot of bad things which is spoken, a lot of there in media, there is a lot of skepticism about the current government. But what they have done definitely is these four things. They have made life simple for honest people because of GST. It is transparent, so when we speak to a lot of companies, we get a feeling that at least it has become far much more transparent than what it used to be in India. It is affluent and it is resilient. This is for near term. I think corporate earnings are going to grow at 20%, at 14% CAGR. And in the past, we have seen wherever corporate earnings grow, you have reflection of that in the markets. So is this the first time markets are correcting? You can see I plotted it in the last 25 years. The reasons every time are different. Sometime it is 2008, which is the crisis of Lehman Brothers. Sometime it is Kargil war. Sometime it is X. Sometime it is Y. The reasons are different, but markets find a way to correct and then bounce back because of the inherent strength of the country as well as of the companies which are there here. So this is part two. So first is, how do you construct a portfolio, and what has been my key learning? So you having decided that the markets will always bounce back, but you don't make money by saying that India is going to do well. You don't make money by saying that this industry is going to do well. आप पैसा बनाते हो जब कोई अच्छी कंपनी या अच्छे स्टॉक में आप पैसा लगाते हो. तो द क्रक्स जो मैटर है वो यही है कि आपके पास कौन सी कंपनी है और कौन सी इंडस्ट्री पे और कौन से एंटरप्रेन्योर पे आपने बेट किया. तो जो मैंने लिस्ट बताई पहले, उसमें सिर्फ 25 कंपनियां थी जिन्होंने 100 से 2000% का रिटर्न दिया. मैं आपको एक और लिस्ट बता सकता हूं जिसमें 2000 कंपनियां हैं जिन्होंने निगेटिव रिटर्न दिया है यही टाइम फ्रेम पे इन द लास्ट 15 ईयर. 2000 कंपनियों ने, तो 2000 कंपनियों में निगेटिव रिटर्न है और 25 कंपनियों में पॉजिटिव रिटर्न है. तो एक्चुअली पिन पॉइंट कर पाना आप कौन सा स्टॉक खरीदना है और कितना खरीदना है, दैट इज रियल आर्ट ऑफ इन्वेस्टिंग. अभी ये क्या है प्रॉब्लम, सब लोगों को ये बहुत आसान लगता है दैट किसी से टिप मिल जाएगी, कोई बैलेंस शीट पढ़ लेगा, अपन किसी सीएफओ को किसी कंपनी में जानते हैं वो अपने को खबर दे देगा, कोई चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट अपने को समझा देगा. पर मैं बोलता हूँ आपको 25 साल में मैंने सीखा है ये बहुत ही कठिन काम है और पूरा हिंदुस्तान इसी पे लगा हुआ है, इंक्लूडिंग द पीपुल आर रनिंग द कंपनी. वो भी अपना शेयर खरीदना चाहते हैं, उसका अकाउंटेंट भी चाहता है कि मेरा स्टेक कंपनी में होना चाहिए, वो बाबू भी चाहता है कि मेरे पास 75% होना चाहिए, और वो लोग भी फेल हो जाते हैं. तो अगर आप 2008 में देखो, दुनिया के पूरे शानों ने वारंट ले लिया. आई डोंट वांट टू नेम ए पर्सन, पर आप जाके 2008 का गूगल देख लो, कितने सारे लोगों ने अपनी कंपनी का वारंट लिया था और वो सब कंपनी वाले को सब खबर था ऐसा हो जाएगा वैसा हो जाएगा. बट द फैक्ट ऑफ द मैटर इज 2008 में सब शानों ने वारंट लेने के बाद वो वारंट का पैसा डूब गया. व्हाट हैपेंड टू द मार्केट वाज अ वेरी डिफरेंट थिंग. So first is that you have to choose the portfolio right. So in choosing the portfolio, I would just say what works for me. What works for me first is there is a bull run always everywhere going on. Somewhere there is a bull run which is going on in the market. So let's say if you are convinced that India is not going to do well 1 year back, oil prices are going to rise, right? Current account deficit is going to rise. Then you will have a pressure on the currency. If you are convinced that yes, this is the reality, now you have to look at कि इससे bull run कहाँ पे आएगा. तो clearly you saw in this time frame, TCS has given 100% return. Infosys has given almost 80% return. So many pharma companies are up between 30 to 50%. So one way is saying, अरे बाप रे मर गए यार, इंडिया का तो कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. Because ABCD has happened, when there is an effect and there is a reflection of that effect somewhere. So if you believe that there is a bull run which is going on somewhere every time, then you will be focused to identify that portion of the market which is going to do well.